It's time for breaking bread with Papa. Hey, don't you know? Hey, it's our goal. Hey, it's time for breaking bread with Papa. Hey, don't you know? Hey, it's also a show. Hey.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Breaking Bread with Tom Papa. I am Tom Papa, and my dear friend is Kira Sultanovich.
Every time it's a surprise. How are you going to say Sultanovich?
I say it the same way all the time.
Not really.
Really?
We're going to put together a compilation video of you saying Sultanovich different ways.
Sultanovich.
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 Sultanovich. I think I nail it.
Pretty much, you do.
Yeah, come on.
Amazing.
Please. What do you have to say?
Nothing.
Papa.
Zero.
Whamp, whamp.
Two, so the same, backwards and forwards.
It's Thanksgiving week. How exciting.
I know.
This is very exciting.
I stop eating now.
What?
To make space.
What?
No.
Oh.
I'm going to eat.
We would like to thank the good people at Nuts.com for sponsoring our program today. Cashews, almonds, pecans, pistachios, dried mango, crystallized ginger, dates and jelly beans, Jawbakers, root beer barrels, all that stuff you like to eat at Nuts.com. I think I just wrote them a jingle. Charge them extra, Joey.
Amazing.
Right now, Nuts.com is offering new customers a free gift with purchase and free shipping on orders of $29 or more at Nuts.com/Papa. Love this company. Go check out all the delicious options at Nuts.com/Papa. You'll receive a free gift and free shipping when you spend
$1,000.
$29
Oh
or more.
my God, that's a deal.
That's Nuts.com/Papa. Thank you, Nuts.com.
Hey, with the holidays.
We are on Thanksgiving week. Very exciting. I can't believe I'm even here. Thank God we're pre-recording because there's no way. My daughters will be back.
Oh.
I will be picking up the 20-pound turkey from a undisclosed location. And yeah, this is the hardest meal to make of the year.
You make all of it?
All of it.
Yeah.
My wife does pies
Oh.
and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's helpful.
Very
That's
helpful.
great,
It's a
yeah.
whole nother category.
But then what do people bring? People want to bring something.
People do want to bring something.
Yeah.
I usually have Erin Foley and her family. They usually bring a sweet potato concoction of some sort.
Yeah.
These are all the things that you're not going to eat, right? All the sides.
No.
You're just be
Sorry.
facing the bird.
I cheated a little bit last night.
You did?
I did. I made another version of a meat pizza.
Oh, the meat pizza's back.
It turned out fantastic.
Really?
So much better than the first one. I made two,
Mm-hmm.
and my husband and I inhaled them. The kids were not interested. We inhaled them, but there's the sauce,
Yeah.
tomato sauce, and I felt it.
You did?
I felt it. But you know what? It was worth it. It was worth it. It was so good.
Just that little bit. That's
well,
all
I
it takes.
had several slices. It was
Yeah.
delicious.
But man, oh man.
Yeah, but I felt it. That tomato, because I get like a really amazing pizza sauce, you know?
Yeah. You make it or you...
No, I just get, it's
Buy it.
RAOs. Have you ever seen their brand?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm spelling it. I'm
Try
sure
and
it's
say
some
it.
sort of
Hey,
rawr.
Sultanovich.
Rawr.
Hey, Sultanovich.
It feels like
Tell me what that tomato sauce
guttural.
is. If you're in the supermarket and you see it, you say to yourself, let me get some...
That's the sound I make during labor.
Let me get
Row. 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 I don't know how to pronounce it. That's why I spell it. How do you say it?
It's Rayo's.
Okay. That's
It
fine.
was a... You know the story behind it?
I do not.
Okay, good. This was an Italian restaurant on the Upper East Side called Rayo's, and it's been there forever. Tiny place, maybe 10 tables, and legendary spot. It's very difficult to get a reservation there. You got to be very fancy, swanky in New York, De Niro, Scorsese kind of level stuff. And I've never even been in. I never even tried to get in. It should be on the wish list, I guess. Anyway, they opened up places in Vegas. They've expanded, then they started this sauce. The sauce was a little side business, and it exploded. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
And a big company bought it, but they keep the ingredients and the recipe the same. No sugar added. Which is pretty amazing for a bottled jarred sauce.
That's why I got it.
And it's so good.
They're
the
so
quality
good.
is so insane.
You can taste the quality.
Yeah.
And they have this little jar. It's not very big, and it's
Yep.
pizza sauce.
And
And it's perfect, and it has a little spice to it. And I just drenched it in mozzarella. And
for people who need to be reminded, because we talked about this a couple weeks ago,
yeah.
this is a pizza with a meat crust.
A meat crust.
Not meat on the crust.
No.
The whole crust is meat.
I used ground chicken this time,
Mm-hmm.
and in it I added ground up pork rinds.
What?
Yeah.
I love how we're blaming the sauce for the problem.
No, it was the sauce for sure. Yeah, and it created this thin crust. Doesn't taste like meat at all. I added some Italian spices, salt, pepper,
Right.
and it's incredible.
It's so good. I
And
can't wait for you to
inhaled.
bring it.
I will bring you some when you bring me some chili. Anyways, so I felt it right away, but for me, I was like, you know what? This was my cheat. It was worth it. I did feel it.
Yeah.
I'm fine today.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
It's kind of crazy that my wife has this similar stomach issues that you've had.
You know so here's the thing with Cynthia. Can I tell you? I know this would never happen.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
If she tried to eliminate everything like I have
Yeah.
and eat, I know it would never happen. I know I'm saying like disgusting, dirty words right now.
Yeah.
But if she ate a meat-based diet,
Mm-hmm.
I would put money on it,
Mm-hmm.
and I will really put money on it, truly, that she would immediately start to feel better.
Yeah, it's a possibility. And for a vegetarian, that's probably the worst thing you could ever hear.
100%. I know.
I know. It is frustrating because you try and eliminate things from your diet and you can't figure out what is the thing that's bugging you and what's causing the problems, and then you so you never really have
never
a grip.
really know unless you
never
eliminate
really know.
everything.
Yeah. Way back when, and I'm sorry to get into this on Thanksgiving week, but way back when we did a thing where we cut out, Mary Lou Henner had a book, and we followed her advice to see what was the things we were abusing in our diet, and you cut out alcohol, meat, sugar, and dairy products. And first of all, you lose weight pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And you also see what are the things that you crave. Like sugar was not a problem for me. No part of it. Alcohol, whatever. Meat, yeah, it's not that big a deal. I could go without it. Dairy products, cheese in everything. And at that time, milk in my coffee. It was just like ice cream wasn't really a big thing. It's more of a sweet. But cheese. And I realized that was the thing. And the byproduct of this little experiment was my allergies all went away. My nasal problem was gone.
Ooh.
Gone. A whole lifetime of avoiding cats and musty basements.
Right.
And allergens floating in this from trees, seasonal. All of it. Just completely confused as a child up until this time, which was in my mid-20s. And it was what I was eating. It was in the cheese. And when I stopped it, it stopped. And I think I told you this on a recent podcast, but I love cheese so much that I'm like, what's the big deal? But through all this travel, this heavy travel this year, I've kept having these nasal headaches. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, why, you idiot? you're eating cheese again. You're eating cheese all the time.
Yeah.
And I cut it out just for a week, and flying, no problem. No issue. It really is still, which is such a bummer because I really do love it.
I know. But when you feel better,
Yeah.
you're like, okay, here are the two options I have.
Yeah.
Feel like garbage.
Yeah.
Or breathe.
And this is why we have the holidays. Because if you are kind of taking care of yourself and doing whatever you got to do, and then Thanksgiving rolls around, you can completely lose your mind for a day, and then maybe a little bit after. And you enjoy the hell out of it, and
Yeah.
you really went nuts, and then you go back to your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you can do that.
That is it's not a trigger to...
I did the holidays last year. So I've already gone through the holidays once. And I was fine.
Eating...
Eating the way I'm eating now.
Oh, you mean for the holiday?
Yeah, I wasn't like, well, just one little nibble. Well, just a little bit of this. You know, I was totally, but I also enjoy like everybody enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like a sourpuss sitting there.
Like,
you
I
know
wish
what I
I
mean?
could.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, here, let me get you some more. You know, I'm helping people. I still love,
Yeah.
I love the way food brings everyone together,
Mm-hmm.
but I just hated the way I felt
Yeah.
afterwards. But I still love it all. I'll gladly, you know, sit there making the mashed potatoes. My
Yeah.
husband insists on us doing it by hand, like just sitting there. Like everybody has to have a
mixer?
turn. No. You know, everyone. He does do that rice thing once in a while, you know, that ricer, you know, where you put it in and it really makes it
Yeah.
creamy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm still all for the whole
Still all into it.
look forward to it's really the people. It's really
Yeah.
sitting around.
Who's coming this year?
We usually invite some neighbors. We massively overcook.
Yeah.
It's a problem. Like we visually don't know how to look at if we see 5 bags of potatoes, we're like, that should be enough. No, that is 5 times too many bags. You know, it's so much food all the time. Also, I am
That's
going to
good.
take my kids to the Laugh Factory this year. We haven't done it the last few years.
How do you do that? Because the Laugh Factory feeds the homeless.
Yes.
Every
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
And comedians can go and serve
Yes.
and help out and volunteer. Great thing. It's right in the middle of Thanksgiving.
Remember, I told you we eat at 12 or like between 12 and 2 p.m.
12 and 2 p.m.
Yeah. So we're
And then when
done.
the meal's over, your neighbors just leave?
Well, last year we didn't do it because people didn't leave.
Right.
And last year was the first year back since COVID.
Okay.
So I was on the schedule and I apologize profusely. I don't want to kick our guests out.
Right. Yeah, it's a weird thing.
It's a weird thing. But the other years before that, you know, people knew like, okay,
Right.
we're going to head home now. We're going to go take a nap.
Yeah.
And then we would head down like around 6.
Around 6, so it's a
Yeah.
nighttime thing?
Yeah, I go like 6. There's a 7 o'clock feeding.
Oh.
And I started my 12-year-old at 5.
At 5.
At 5, he started helping.
Look, I like to think of myself as a giving person, charitable person,
Sure, sometimes.
someone who sees the better angels in mankind more often than not. And I think that I'm helpful. This may all be just hype in my own head because Thanksgiving comes around and I want to go to the Laugh Factory and help the people. But by the time the meal is over and we've had our last piece of pie, I'm pretty drunk.
Yeah.
I am pretty
Yes.
much
No,
like
please.
like when I got to get up off the couch to go pee, I got to steady myself.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Yeah, you should definitely not be drunk because the people coming in are drunk.
right.
Yeah, you should
Yeah.
be stable.
So I write a check and send it to someone.
That's great. That works too.
and just
I'm trying to teach my kids something here. So really I'm doing it to be like, let's schlep on down to Hollywood and appreciate, you know, what we have and help people in the process.
and I taught my children, let's appreciate what we have by staying here and eating and drinking all of it.
Let's watch some sports.
And then we watched the Polar Express.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Night before, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Interesting. Okay.
Great comedy.
It's a great movie.
All about Thanksgiving, getting home for Thanksgiving.
That's appropriate for kids, right?
Yes, they would like
Yeah.
it. There's nothing that would be inappropriate. One, the rant at the rental counter when Steve Martin is abandoned and he doesn't have a car and he has to slush back through the snow and
Yeah.
he lets that rental counter person have it with a bunch of F-bombs.
Oh.
That's as risque as the film gets.
Okay.
I think it's definitely okay.
Yeah.
Then on Thanksgiving Day, it's the parade where we all yell that we're going to see Santa for the first time. It's going to be the real Santa. And we look at him and we say, oh my God, it is the real Santa this time.
12 more weeks of winter.
And then football is thrown on throughout the day, but it's not like a heavy sit down. Everyone's watching. It's just kind of in the background. And then that night is Polar Express, the weirdly animated Tom Hanks
one.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
You've never seen it?
No. But it's before they figured out how to make the eyes less creepy.
The eyes and their body movements are a little...
Yeah.
But the music's fun and it's just trippy. Once the kids watched it when they were little, so that's their thing.
Can I pitch you something?
Yes, please.
Okay. You might have already seen this, or I might have already pitched it to you. There is a great movie, and most of the movie takes place exactly when you and I were probably going through puberty.
Okay.
It's called 8-Bit Christmas.
8-Bit Christmas.
I'm telling you right now, if you do not like this movie, we never have to speak again.
Will my family like it?
I laughed out loud.
Will the kids
many
like it?
times. So your daughters will like it because I'm sure you and Cynthia have spoken about the 80s a million times, right? I'm sure they know about 1987. I'm sure they know about all of that, right? I personally thought it was just a very cute family movie.
All right.
And of course, you'll love it for the nostalgia.
Right. All right.
8-Bit Christmas.
4-ounce Christmas. Got it.
You can Google the 80s, Joey, and then you'll know about the 80s and you can watch it and like it.
Yeah, I think that movie came out when I was like 25 years old. It came out like 2 years ago or something.
What
right?
year were you born?
96.
Oh, stop talking. Stop talking.
But I like the movie. It's a good movie.
1996.
Isn't it cute?
Yeah.
It's very fun.
You liked it?
Yeah, it's like a kid wants a Nintendo, right? Is that
Yes.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
That's it. Yeah.
All right. All right, I'll watch it.
It's fun.
That's a good one.
It's sweet.
Yeah. That's fun. I like our traditions, but maybe we can fit that one in.
I think you can.
It's a long weekend.
You can shoehorn it in.
Oh, yeah.
Are you doing math in your head?
Yeah, I was doing how great is you love the turkey, but how great is the sandwich after the turkey? The sandwich, even on just white bread with turkey and mayonnaise and stuffing and...
The leftovers are amazing.
Amazeballs.
And then you don't want to look at them ever again.
Yeah.
Like it gets to a couple days where you're just like, why the hell am I holding on to this cranberry sauce?
I know.
Get out of my fridge.
You know what kind of made leftovers difficult for us was my parents came to visit one year and they're very helpful, but my mother was going through everything in Ziploc bags phase.
Yeah.
So you're scooping...
My in-laws do that.
Yeah, mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce, stuffing, everything in Ziploc bags. And now you got what looks like leftovers from a surgery. That should be brought out to the...
Yeah.
This is where we dispose of the human waste.
What's wrong with the Tupperware
I know.
box?
It's much more appealing.
They bring out the big, huge, the freezer ones.
Yeah, the 2-gallon squishy bags.
Yeah.
Oof. Why is that nauseating?
It's because you're looking at the food as if it's getting a mammogram.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, it's like it's
Yeah.
no longer in food shape.
no,
It's now in
just colors.
It's like, this will be shit, and we're gonna let you see what it looks like.
It's gross.
Oh.
I don't like it. And all the juice
I
on
don't
the bottom
either.
in a corner.
Practically, I get it. It makes sense. It saves space. You're throwing it all in the thing, but very unappealing.
And how do you scoop it out? Like it's
With your hands.
Oh no!
Your handy hands.
I thought maybe it was an East Coast thing because my in-laws are from Queens.
Maybe it is. I don't know. I mean, they are East Coast people. But something about this is the sound of all your leftovers. Right?
Yeah. No, it's
Ugh.
gross.
It's horrible. We, as a family, have this weird tradition where the day after Thanksgiving, we go off to this resort that we like. And we stay there for a night or two.
Where?
I'm not telling you.
Oh.
And then we come back on Sunday, and then it's when the tree goes up.
Write it down.
Write it down?
Yeah.
All right.
Are you scared I'm going to show
A
up?
great no, I would love it if you showed up. It's a great tradition. The kids, we did it since the kids were little. It's great, and it starts to, and there's like shopping there, and then you feel like you're moving into
It feels Christmassy.
Christmassy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And the girls are, even though they're in college,
They're going to look forward to it.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to write down where I wanted to go, but I don't know if this
Okay.
is possible.
I love how you can't say. Ooh, I wouldn't go there.
No, too cold?
No, I have no idea. I've never been. A friend of mine just went and loved it, and they went just for the day.
I've never been.
Me neither.
Yeah, and it's close.
I feel like that's a whole area you probably could mention.
It's an area, and we're not really necessarily going. So I wrote down Catalina.
Right.
I've never been in all the years I've lived in Los Angeles.
Wow.
It's a boat ride, so you got to be okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd be okay, but I can see one of my kids just yakking all over the place.
Yeah, it's a short boat ride, though.
It's not bad. I think
My
it's,
friends literally just went there last weekend for their anniversary, and they had a great time, and they just went down, did it, and came back in the same day.
Same day.
Yeah.
I would want to stay. I'd want to stay.
There's I don't know if you know this about Catalina Island, wild buffalo
Really?
just roaming around.
Still.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Also, there's little turny streets.
Turny streets?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that you walk on. And
Okay.
and there's this legend, I don't know if it's true, that there are man-sized hermit crabs that
No.
a lot of times families will go, and the ones that choose to stay often will return to the ferry and be one person short. And legend has it
Oh, God.
that if you can't find your family member,
Yeah.
there's a good chance they were eaten by a man-sized hermit crab. Do you ever have a hermit crab when you were a kid?
I mean, yes, I know what they are, but
And you give them little peanut butter
feel like
and
you're-
you put it in there?
pitching me a movie right now.
No. Just telling you what I've heard.
No.
Yeah.
That's real?
Mm.
Come on.
Yeah. Have fun.
I don't know about you. I plan a trip.
Hmm.
I plan a vacation. And then the minute we get there, I'm like, this was a mistake.
What? In what regard?
I don't know what happens to my kids' brains as we walk into a hotel room. We pass the threshold and they lose their goddamn minds.
Isn't that why you do it?
But they just like it's takes all the fun out because now we're managing two lunatics.
Oh, you let them rip. What can they do?
A lot.
What?
First of all, shush.
What? Let them go. Let
It's
them rip.
too much noise. See, we're not fancy. I don't have the budget to get like a 2-bedroom suite. And when we have gotten them,
Yeah, we're all in together.
they're still in
The
like
2-bedroom suite, by the way, is a mistake.
why?
There's something much more fun about being all jumbled together. Everyone has their own rooms at home. You're not sleeping with your kids. They got their own stuff. There's something fun on the road, all being jammed in a room together. It's fun. It's annoying to everybody. You're
Yes.
annoyed by them. They're annoyed by listening to you snore at night. It's messy, but the experience is better. It's better. You're all together. You're having laughs. You're watching dumb TV. You're watching 8-Bit.
Oh, it's such a good movie.
I really,
know.
that's a lot of fun.
And that's why I get excited about planning something like, let's do
Yeah.
something fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's always turns into, why the hell am I spending thousands of dollars? I could yell at them at home for free.
I love it. One of the funniest moments when they were little was watching my daughters pretending that they knew it. They were acting like grown-ups in the hotel, and my daughter took out the Bible and picked up the phone and was ordering room service.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
I'm sure a heresy on some level, but
Yes.
hilarious.
I will say the few times that my husband has talked me into, I don't know if he drugged me beforehand, but to go to Disneyland, we will go and stay the night before.
California Big Adventure,
But, sure, that's
the
one
Californian
of them. The
hotel.
Disney, like, the
Uh-huh.
the hotel's right there.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So you go the night before so that you wake up to what he calls, and this makes my skin crawl, the rope drop.
Ooh.
He wants to be there like first thing in the morning.
Uh-huh.
So you got to go the night before,
Yeah.
right? Or you're not going to wake up at 5. with
No,
your
you got to
kids
go the
and
night
drag
before.
it.
Even
Yeah.
that is early.
Yeah. So we have, and it is fun in the
Rope
sense, oh God, I hate that. But it is fun in that sense because we're getting
Yeah.
up to go to Disney, and it's like you get your
Yeah.
backpacks full of, all your snacks and the water bottles and the
Yeah, that's fun.
That part is fun.
Yeah, it's good. And look, my kids are now, they're not kids, they're grown women, and they still want to keep the tradition going.
I love that.
Tradition.
I love it. That's going to be
So,
fun.
yeah,
They're going to want you to spend so much money.
it's expensive.
They're going to want to shop.
It's expensive.
You think kids at like the, gift shop at Disneyland's expense? Oh,
It's not even, it's the meals and
the meals. Yeah.
yeah, all that stuff. It's just, they just abuse you. Any place you go any place that caters to a family, they know they've got you.
Yeah.
On every level. Chuck E. Cheese,
All of it.
up to trip to Europe, whatever. If you are moving a family, they know that you're just going to throw a credit card and be like, I'll deal with the ramifications of this later. I've got to get through this
Yeah.
with these people and have some kind of a good time.
Yeah. And then it's going to be beautiful probably because it's always like blazing hot.
So yeah,
The
sometimes.
day after Thanksgiving, it's
know.
always like, well, it's 90, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're all sweating.
I know. There have been plenty of times in LA where we've been at the pool.
Oh, yes.
But
Oh,
then
for
at night
sure.
it gets cold.
And then it's freezing.
And
Yeah.
then you're like, we go to the place and do the thing.
My kids, our tradition after New Year's is we go to the beach.
Uh-huh.
So
New
like
Year's Day?
January 1st or 2nd, one of
Yeah,
those,
yeah.
right? And then they have those burns,
Mm-hmm.
and we take our boogie boards and we go down the sandy hills,
Oh.
and they are in their bathing suits. I'm
Yeah.
shivering. I am freezing cold,
Yeah.
and they're in their bathing suits because I don't know what kind of fire burns inside of children.
Pure energy.
I mean,
Just
I am
pure-
an entire goosebump. My whole body just churns into a big goosebump to protect myself. And they're frolicking in 40-degree water. I don't know how cold it is. But that's our New Year's
That's a good one.
because it's beautiful. That's
Yeah.
why people move to Los Angeles. They
I know.
see the Rose Bowl and they're sitting there shivering
Yeah.
in Minneapolis, and they're like, it's sunny in California on January whatever 3rd.
It is a delightful thing to be on the road, be in St. Paul, Minnesota, where you freeze your butt off, and then fly home after getting that experience and then fly home to LA and then take the trash out with no shoes on.
Yes.
And you're
Yeah.
like, that's,
It is pretty special.
pretty great.
I know. That's why our taxes are crazy and this state is nuts.
I know. Do you think they'll fix the state?
I hope so. Honestly, this is the part about being an adult I hate the most.
What?
Is because when you're even in your early 20s,
You're unaware.
you know that there's problems, but you're like, but whatever.
Yeah, we're having fun.
We're going to a concert, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then as you get older and you know, and then you have kids and then you have maybe one property, maybe several properties. And now you're like, oh, you know, I'm concerned.
You're
that
aware and concerned.
I pay so much. Well,
Now, let me ask you
Nevada,
this.
there's no sales tax. Or you find out different states that have like no taxes at all.
Yeah.
How do things
Now,
get
is
done?
this just because of your mortality and you're starting to age and you naturally are more vulnerable and thinking about the end and all that other kind of stuff? Seriously. Like, why not just act like the 20-year-old version of you and just enjoy yourself and never see the news? Like, are you a mature adult and it's up to us to vote people in and out and
Yes,
fix things?
It is.
We have to be the grown-ups.
It is up to us.
Okay.
Because when you are 20 and you're able to vote, that's amazing. That's great. You usually only vote because of this is not every youngster, but some social justice cause.
Right.
That you're like, I'm going to be the social justice warrior for
Yeah,
this.
I'm fighting for this.
And then you're fighting for completely different things once you have kids. And, you know, I pay property taxes on 2 different properties.
The
Okay?
worst water I've ever had.
I know this water, it tastes like someone wrung out an armpit.
It's like when you were a kid and you're like, there's nothing to drink. I'll just drink from this hose.
And this is worse.
Yeah.
No, this is like a hotel that is condemned, but you're staying in it because it's all you can afford. And then you had to drink from the tap.
What are the odds that Abraham Lincoln is poisoning us?
I mean, it would make sense if you
Like,
think
I don't know
about
what
it.
arsenic tastes like, but
But he has to poison us slowly or else it'll look too obvious. You know? So it's slow.
sorry to interrupt.
Anyways, so it's tax season. I'm sure you're paying your property taxes.
Oh, yeah, I
Okay,
just
so
saw
I
that
paid
bill.
the house that I live in.
Yeah.
And then my other one. And then we're just not going to eat.
So expensive.
Do you know? And then when you get older, because when
Mm-hmm.
you're 20, you're probably not taking care of an elderly parent.
Right.
I mean, you might be, but
and children at the same time.
and children at the same time. So then, you know, my mom's the house she
Care.
lives in, the care house she lives in.
Yeah.
It's called a board and care, whatever. Then they like November 1st rolls around, and it is a barrage of texts. When are you coming with the money?
Oh God. Oh God.
I've never been late.
Yeah.
There's never been a problem. I always
Yeah.
pay you. But every month they act like you better have the money every month. And so
then, yeah,
And
you
I
have
just-
it all bearing down. On
and
you.
then you do see like some jackass politician say some bullshit and you're like, motherfucker,
Right.
I will give you this dirty Joey water if you don't
Yeah.
do something about our situation.
What about this campaign?
Okay.
Would it be effective, or would it just be a fart in the wind to go around as you do just in your normal day? You don't have to look for this stuff. You see a tent outside of your grocery store. You see the burnt down florist that a homeless person with gasoline lit on fire. You see all these things that are wrong with our little village of Los Angeles, and just take a picture of them or a video and just show the burnt out florist and say, where is our mayor?
100%.
That's the campaign, is where is our mayor?
Hashtag, yes.
You think it would catch?
I think so.
I feel like it might.
People
Because
love...
it really is this kind of feeling of like things are wrong. in the place that they were not wrong before. And people are not being helped. People that are paying big taxes are having to live this frantic, paranoid way of existence. And I never, ever see the mayor's face. I never see her coming out and saying what we're working on and this is the plan and this is the thing. It's just things are decaying. Someone has the office and you never see them.
It's like a bad marriage where look, we should go to therapy or something. Like we need to do something
Right.
to save this.
Yeah.
But both people in the marriage just turn their backs to each other at night and just maybe some miracle will happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you
Yeah.
have to admit, like, hey,
Something's wrong.
yes. And if they don't, we have to divorce our politicians. You know, like
I know.
I don't
I think they voted for the wrong one.
100%.
I mean, look, it's definitely a big, giant sprawl. I get it. It's a challenge. LA's too big. It should be broken up. Like Beverly Hills is its own thing. And
But Beverly Hills does have its own mayor.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like they should all,
Yeah.
like Santa Monica should. And
Yeah.
like, it shouldn't be the one person for Koreatown and Santa Monica and Brentwood. And
Right.
I get that, but it's your job to lead. You don't have to have even all the answers, but you do have to show up on the nightly news and say, I hear you. I see it too. We're going to fix it. And then don't do anything. But as long as you do that, you inspire other people to do it.
And then we withhold sex from the mayor until they fix this. Did I misunderstand the analogy?
No,
Who
but
are we
it's a good
sponsored by?
It's a good segue. Do you wish you could go to Willy Wonka's Candy Factory? Well, since that's not exactly possible, let me introduce you to this online version of that. Nuts.com. I hope that the camera angle doesn't show Kira texting while I'm reading the ad copy.
I'm going on the nuts.com website.
They have everything. I love going to this website. They've got all the treats that you need. They've got all the nuts. They've got all the candies. They've got butterscotch. They've got gummy bears. They've got crystallized ginger. They've got jelly beans, jawbreakers, root beer barrels, everything you want. If you haven't got on this, I don't know why you are not listening to me. I'm your friend. This is our podcast. This is a fun one. Go to nuts.com. You'll enjoy it, and you'll find all the stuff that you love to eat, and then it'll show up at your door. It's a one-stop shop for freshly roasted nuts, dried fruit, all the rest of it. Plenty of gluten-free options, organic choices, something sweet, savory, or if you need to stock up on everyday cooking essentials, flours, things like that, you can order from there as well. At nuts.com, quality is a top priority. They roast their nuts. I'm surprised you didn't make a joke of that. Pop their corn the same day. Right now, Nuts.com is offering new customers a free gift with purchase of free shipping on orders of $29 or more at Nuts.com/Papa. So go check out all of the delicious options. This is the time of year, kids. Nuts.com/Papa. You'll receive a free gift and free shipping when you spend $29 or more. But you know, you're going to be so happy when you order from there. You don't even care about the gifts. You're not even going to care. You're just going to be so happy that you did it. And then you get all this great stuff showing up in Nuts.com packages. That's Nuts.com/Papa. Thank you, Nuts.com. I didn't mean to get too political, but it's really just a way of life. It really is. It's just a way of life. And we got to warm up because people will be talking about it this Thanksgiving.
Oh, for sure. That's my one moment of where
Yeah.
I don't I tense up because everyone's
Everyone's got their complaints.
I know so many people that denounced family members when the big orange bad man got
Yeah.
into office, and
Yeah,
I have family members that voted for him. I have family members that vote for everybody.
sure.
I'm not gonna say
You're
you're
out.
not my family anymore.
No.
Because guess what? That person is out in 4 years. Now it's like,
Yeah,
oh, are
100%.
we still related now? It doesn't make any sense to
doesn't.
reject someone.
Unless they can't shut up about it.
Well, that's different.
the rule.
But they can still be your second cousin. Don't
100%.
Don't invite them then.
We love them, but we're not going to talk about that.
We don't invite them anymore because they show up in a full body outfit.
Right.
It's a MAGA hat as a full onesie.
Looking for a fight.
And
that's
different.
That's different.
Yeah.
The provocation.
But yes, the holidays, because you're getting people together that we don't see each other.
Yeah, and someone's going to slip, and you got to let it roll. You got to let it roll.
Yeah.
Somebody says something about, look, we're going to be at Thanksgiving. Abraham Lincoln's going to be there. There'll probably be some relative. It's going to be like, what's with this guy? And he's going to make some kind of, I don't even know what it will be, but he'll say something. Are we going to stand up and say, you don't say that about 4 ounce?
Oh, no.
No, you just say, and you hope the 4 ounce doesn't hear it. Right?
Well, I think Joey's going to be too busy filling Ziploc bags full of leftovers so to really even hear anyone say anything bad about him.
Disgusting.
Now that I know how he leaves a party,
Well, dude,
he makes out like a bandit.
a couple weeks ago when he left for Halloween, I don't know if you remember this, he left with all of my leftovers.
That's what I'm saying. He backs his car up to your house.
I mean, I feel, I like that, especially the poorest among us can take some. No, I don't mean that as an insult. He's a young up and comer. My niece is the same way. She's a student. You give her a thing of cornbread, they act like you just gave them a 5-course meal for the next week.
Listen, can I tell you a story? Because you and I love to feed people.
Yes.
Okay. So my mom turned 80 2 years ago. Okay. And she was not in a place to really have like a huge celebration. But I asked her best friends in the whole world, I want to celebrate. It's 80. It's big.
Yeah.
She was definitely on her way down. Not as declined as she is now.
Yeah.
I said, come fly out to Los Angeles. We're going to cook you an amazing meal. We'll have a beautiful, celebration at my house.
Yeah.
And it was going to be about 10 people. That's enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
She won't last very long. She'll have to lie down after a while. So we'll make it short and sweet. You can literally fly in that morning from San Francisco and you can fly out that night.
Right.
Okay. So this is really actually a terrible story, but all of her
For the
friends,
holidays.
friends and some family members and everybody was on board. I confirmed everyone. I went to a special fish market, not just a grocery store, to a special fishmonger. And I got the most amazing Chilean sea bass.
Nice.
Okay, Mike knows how to cook it like what's the
Emerald.
yes, like one of those famous sea dudes.
Yep.
Who's the guy with the French Laundry? He has that cookbook. That dude.
Right.
Charlie
Poutine.
Okay, I don't know. Anyways, we buy the best side dishes and veg and beautiful. I bought all these gorgeous flowers, okay? I like to do the flower arrangements the night before.
Okay.
That way I'm not stressed out that
Okay.
morning. Okay. Nobody showed up.
Not one?
So 3 of her best friends called the night before.
The night before.
Late. Oh, sorry. We made a flight for the wrong day.
Oh.
Bullshit.
Uh-huh.
And by the way, if you did, you're all loaded. I know you're all loaded. I know you're all loaded. Then you just book a flight that night for the next day.
Oof.
Then some other family members, they said, did you know it's the Super Bowl on that Sunday that morning of? They were like, did you know it's the Super Bowl today? And the Super Bowl was in Los Angeles 2 years ago.
On the day? It was on Super Bowl Sunday?
It was. But guess why we did it on Super Bowl Sunday?
Why?
Because those people asked me to. They were like, that's what works for us.
Right.
And then they canceled.
Oof.
And then I felt awkward for the other people that were driving up from Los Angeles. And so I just told them, because it was awkward. It's
'Cause
awkward now at this point. Now
it would've
6
been-
people. I just said, hey guys,
Oh, wait. How many were on their way?
6 people. My husband, myself, so a total 10.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I canceled the last 2. No, it would have been weird.
Really?
Yeah. So the last one person, I go, you know what? She's not feeling up to it. And they're like, oh, we understand. But now we have all this food.
Right.
So I put an APB out
Right?
to everybody.
Almost.
Okay, not you, but everyone else.
Uh-huh.
Come to my house. And our neighbors came and some friends and some people drove up. And
Nice.
we had about 10, 12 people.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a feast.
That's good.
So it's a happy ending.
Was your mom there?
No,
Oh. Why didn't you bring her along?
because she would have been upset.
Oh.
She would have been upset that no one showed up. I did not
Does she
tell
listen
her.
to this podcast?
She doesn't open her eyes.
Um,
She doesn't.
was she
like,
popular with this group?
These were her best friends in the whole world.
Really?
And they all flaked out on her.
Oof. At the end.
Awful.
At the end.
Awful. Terrible.
That's terrible.
Yeah. And if they do hear this, good. I'm glad.
That's terrible. How
I know.
dare.
So I didn't tell her that all your friends just flaked out on you.
Yeah, you just said, it's
I
not
just
your
go-
birthday.
Oh my God.
We did that already. Remember the party?
Well, at that age,
Yeah.
in her condition,
Yeah, you'd believe it.
you do.
How many people are coming on
12.
Thursday? 12.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's all we can see.
That's about us.
That's all.
We have about the same.
It's too small.
Joe, are you bringing someone or are you coming solo?
Probably go solo. My brother might be in town if you want.
You
to
don't
meet
like him, though.
I like him. What?
You do?
Yeah.
I
No,
thought you
his
said
brother
bad things about him.
His brother doesn't like Joey.
No,
Oh.
hosting him can be a
A
challenge
problem,
at
which is what you're
times.
asking me to do.
To host my brother? Oh,
Yeah.
at Thanksgiving, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's more the him living in the space where things you couldn't expect to possibly go wrong
Mm-hmm.
are suddenly inconveniencing you. I feel like a dinner, he's a perfectly fine guest.
Okay. How old is he?
He's 25.
And what's his occupation?
Army.
All right.
Army.
He can come.
Yeah. Come in fatigues though, so
Yes, definitely.
everyone feels good.
Are you
about
making your world famous pepperoni bread?
I am, yep. I'm gonna get the good dough. I'm gonna take my time with it. I'm excited.
All right, good. Well, this is very exciting. It's kind of difficult, but I think we're going to have to move in this direction. And then you could always drive me home.
What?
I feel like we need to drink more on the podcast. Like it's the Thanksgiving week.
Okay.
We should be
Yeah.
toasting, breaking it open. And this bottle of wine has been at our podcast now since we got into the studio, which is a long time now.
Oh wow.
And we should be drinking it. A bottle should not stick around that long in a podcast about breaking bread. You agree, Joey?
Yeah. I'll DD for us.
What's DD mean?
Designated driver, old man.
Oh.
Get with it, boomer.
We didn't call it that. We called it driving home.
Yeah. Simpler times, Joey.
We wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy yourselves. Make something great. Celebrate with your families or not. Just hang with your friends.
You know what? Hug someone you disagree with.
No, let's not get crazy.
Yeah, you can do that.
Go to the Laugh Factory. No, it is good advice. Go to the Laugh Factory or your comparable place and help people out.
Yeah.
If you can stay sober enough. If you care enough about people to stay sober during Thanksgiving, you should go help them.
I will say my kid has the best memories of handing out pumpkin pie at the Laugh Factory to
Really?
homeless people.
Really?
Yeah,
That sounds really sweet.
it's very sweet.
FaceTime me while you're there.
Okay.
All right, that's it. ThankYouNuts.com. Thank you all. We'll see you soon.